But so I kind of punked out before this podcast because like it was like 3 minutes to one, and I go out, dude, and I smoke a cigarette, like a little stub, but it was only like a small piece, and so I didn't like fully get a smoke out of it. But it's just like so with Colton, there's a certain smoke that he's trying to give up, and I told him there's two ways to go about it. You can quit it when you still have some, and you can just say, I am done, and I will not smoke any more of it. Or you
willingly quit, pretty much.
Yes.
Sorry to cut off.
Oh, good. And then there's quitting based off of like running out of money, running out of this substance, and that's a lot more difficult.
Which never really works.
Yeah, it's
cold turkey quit because you don't have the option of it.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's your only option.
Oh, that's actually very similar to forcing yourself to quit based on the power of will. Like if you just like,
sure.
Or power of discipline or whatever. Because it doesn't really work.
Self-control.
Like self-control is cool, but see, it's at the end of the day, like I was battling some sort of an addiction as well. Well, in regards to food. And at the end of the day, it's your mind that needs to change for you to understand that, like, I just don't want that anymore. And until you change and be like, okay, I actually just don't want that anymore, you will want it. And that's the problem.
Yeah. And then we also talked about with Colt, like self-truths, like, I feel I know everything I need to know to get where I want to go. I just don't do it all.
What are the things you know you need to do, but you don't act on? The things that you have in your head, but just don't execute to the way you want to.
You're asking me to specifically say them?
Yeah.
Like if you're you don't have to say
it.
all of them.
Yeah.
But the ones that you're comfortable with.
Okay, the big one, the main like personal thing is smoking, right? So I know I need to stop. Like I've been in this mindset of quitting for a long time now, but I haven't stopped. And then the other one is like, I'm pretty sure with the people who live in my house that I need to assist them in scream therapy. And that's
scream therapy?
Scream therapy, bro. Just like getting out like all the hate and negativity and ill feelings inside of them. And I've been like, I've thought this for a while, but I've been putting it off because it's like, it can be highly terrifying, because in this house,
I agree.
Yeah, because society is like, hold on, like be calm always, don't scream.
Collected and controlled.
Yeah, collected and controlled. But like, dude, we all need to freak out a little bit sometimes. So
sometimes you just have to let the Hulk out of the Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Sometimes
in a safe and controlled environment, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't walk into a mall or a movie theater and start doing this. I mean, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, my environment is like highly controlled and the people like know and respect me, so yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Like, see, I believe that anger and rage are very good. Like, I mean, not that they're always good in any situation, any scenario, but they can be used very, very well, because if you need to, like, convey some sort of a message that, like, you need to convey it quickly, you need to transfer that, like, that this is what I need, like, right now, right here, and this is very important. And like, for example, like, we're gonna die if you don't do this right now, and you're like loud and aggressive. Maybe then it's gonna be heard, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it's very specific, like in what kind of environment it happens.
Yeah, and what you said, like, I think what you're trying to get at is like rage and fury is very natural.
It is
a natural feeling.
Yeah.
It comes from our souls, right? It comes from our cores, right?
Yeah.
We feel it bubble up in ourselves until we explode it out.
Yeah. So
I wanted to circle back though on your screaming therapy, on how you guys do it though. Like, you guys just get into a room and just scream until your like lungs and chest hurt, or do you like? Is there a certain way you go about it?
well,
Because personally, when I do my scream therapy, it's more like a very low, controlled growl sound, like a.
yeah,
I'm not
Basically,
really
what I do in the gym.
exploding out,
yeah.
right?
My thinking is like screams and guttural sounds certainly are part of it, but it's more like the icing on the cake. Like the true core of it should be saying words that are tied to pain. So this one man, his brother up and disappeared one day and never came back. And I connected strongly with him the other day when I was talking about another person. And I said, I never even got to say goodbye. And his head pops up as if to say, holy cow, like I feel you on that deeply. And so what I'm feeling with him, what we need to do is to get him, because he loves his brother, but he also hates him for leaving him, right?
The resentment behind it all.
Yes. So he needs to say, you know, F you, brother, why did you leave me? I hate you for leaving me. You left, you know, that sort of stuff.
I understand.
So, you know, just this kind of crazy, wild stuff.
I like that concept though, because you're given power to the words you feel in your body and your soul. Like how I release it on with music, that's my outlet for my scream therapy. Pretty much, instead of actually screaming it out, I'm giving the power to the words in the music.
Yeah.
Because I don't want that verbal altercation of hostility between us, because I don't want the match of who can be the loudest.
Yeah.
I want just to get my intentions across, and I don't want to raise my voice at people. I just want to express myself properly.
Yeah. So I'm
actually curious.
I feel like the most intense person will win no matter what.
You mean it's like if they're confident enough to just like keep pushing and going forward with it, like with their opinion or whatever it is that they're.
Because there are two options. People will run to you in support, or they will run from you. This doesn't mean they physically leave the room, but emotionally, if they try to run from you, they will try to stop you. Yes. And so the thing is, though, by trying to stop something natural and beautiful and healthy, they're not in power. So their voice is going to be weak. Their will is going to be weak. By someone in power doing this for the good of all, that's God power, dude. That's God flowing in and out and through. Like, I don't imagine I'll be saying my own words. I think to do this, I will need to just kind of let my mind kind of be a conduit and pick up just intuitive hits in the moment. Don't think, just do.
No hesitation, just act.
Yeah.
In a justifiable manner, of course, not just act like, I murdered that person because I felt it.
Yeah, I'm not out for blood. Like I'm my intent, if and when I do this, is to heal. And I feel the people around me vibe on healing, but they vibe on true vibes. So I could be saying and doing some wild things in their eyes, and they probably will be freaked out. This is not an easy, gentle thing. This is like ripping out like a plant deep inside of you, and it's
rooted
wild.
Stem deeply.
Yes.
So I've got a question.
Yeah.
For Colt. So you said like you were mentioning like screaming into the mic and stuff, and I wonder like if you actually like do you do it often? Like do you do like aggressive songs often? Or like when I say aggressive, I mean like
I've been
think of like rock or like metal.
Yeah, like using like aggressive music behind the tracks. Because if I'm using aggressive type of music, it's usually like Eminem style, like his older stuff, like when he was like I'm mad at you guys because I'm just trying to be a rapper and you guys are all giving me your opinions for nothing.
Yeah.
And
So
what
you
is your
mean
2 cents really
that's
going to do in a dollar dream world?
that's
Sorry to
in
cut
my
you off.
opinion. Yeah, no, it's cool. In my opinion, that's more of a like you're aggressive with meaning rather than aggressive with your like tonality or intonation or cadence or whatever.
I like to call it intense passion.
Say that again?
Intense passion. I'm intensely passionate about
Yeah,
what I believe.
that's what I mean. Yeah, cool, cool. Because I was just curious if you ever use like that like you have screaming rap. Like I don't know if you ever heard of
Oh, that
magnetizing
reminds
or
me. Um, Sorry to cut you off, but
that's
I
cool.
just released a track today on SoundCloud, and it's probably, in my opinion, my best work, and it's my actual like aggression coming out. It's not just like my quiet noise of raps that I usually do, like the soft, slow beats, but it's actually like, what can I give an example to? I'd say like a Mockingbird Eminem style song with the aggression behind it.
Interesting. Send me a link later.
I will. I didn't
Yeah,
post it.
you just upload your
No,
music by
I
hand,
don't have the
right?
funds for it yet. Yeah,
All right.
that's why everything's been on Spotify so far, because I haven't had the money to actually pay for the accounts and subscriptions to promote my music yet. That's why
Yeah.
my shop also hasn't been invested in, and among other things, I'm just slowly trying to do all the other steps that I have before
Yeah.
that.
So a tip on DistroKid, like if you plan to subscribe to it, go to the website, put your email in, and I think initially, let's say it's like $18, and that's the cost. But then they'll send you 2 more emails. One of them says like, "Hey, we'll give you 10% off." Don't do it then. Wait for the second one, and it'll take it down to like $14. So I mean, it's not huge
Ooh.
savings, but
Is that before you like put in your account information and stuff? Like go in for the checkout, but then just leave it there, and then they send you the emails, or is that after you've signed up?
when I did it, I entered my email, and then it gave you options to subscribe and whatnot. But I didn't do anything at that stage. I just waited for the emails to come through.
And also, with DistroKid, can you sign up for free first, or do you have to have like a membership subscription first to sign up?
I believe you have to. I think the only way to use it is to pay.
Okay, Roger. Because back in 2018, way back when, I originally was getting someone else to produce music for me with the mixing and mastering behind it. So I actually had money at the time because I wasn't in debt yet. But I was using DistroKid at the time, actually, way back then. And since then, I was like, well, when I move out and I start my life, I'll have my own studio and everything will work out properly, and then I'll actually start making music. And then here I am, 6 years later, 7 years later, and now I'm starting to actually start to lay the groundwork out and not do what I originally envisioned. Which is funny because in all the action movies, the plan never goes to plan. Like it never goes according to plan. The movie always works out in the climax, in the thick of it, when you're winging it in the moment.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Like
that's a movie.
yeah, it is
Like
a movie, but movies
that's a
are
movie and it's made like that because who would be
true.
interested in watching a movie when like you're presented with a plan at the start and then the whole movie is literally just like that, just following the plan. There's gotta be interesting, there's gotta be turns, there's gotta be like, like
Yeah,
it's gotta be
Well,
unexpected.
that's what a script is called.
Yeah, the bad guy's got to win a
Following the
little
plan.
bit. The bad guy's got to win a little
agree.
bit to miss, but so yeah, I remember someone told me once that like it's good to have a plan for if something fails.
Plan B. Always have that
Yes.
plan B.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut off, man.
Actually, that's like I really love that stuff. So like people who have anxiety or paranoia, you know, they can use that as a superpower. Well, if they manage to actually like not like fall into it fully, but if they actually start using that as anxiety is thinking of the future, so thinking of all the little ways how something may not work out, and like, you know, finding, okay, plan B, plan C, plan D, how do I use, what do I do if this happens? Like I
That's
feel like
neat.
that is very, very effective.
Thinking of
Although,
always the worst case scenarios.
yeah, although I was always curious, like in terms of, I was always thinking, debating in my head, you know, like manifestation or like law of attraction. So like you attract whatever you're thinking of or believing or whatever.
Manifesting.
So if you're thinking of all them worst case scenarios, do you
Mm,
magnetize that into your reality or it doesn't matter?
yes,
I think
because that's
100%.
all you're looking for.
Bro, okay, this is an example. Like before I would go to like a music competition where I'd play tuba or trombone. Um, like I would, like a couple days before, I would feel my lips feel a little chapped, right? And then I would start thinking about, oh no, what if they get really badly chapped? And I would fixate on this. And as it would turn out, my lips would get like this bizarre, like red ring around them. And I believe I willed that into existing.
Mm,
But see, that's more about like you having a fear of something. So
Sure.
I believe that there's a difference between you understanding that, like, okay, this can happen, this may not go my way, but I'm creating a plan for if that doesn't go my way without actually fearing it. Because if you fear it, then obviously you magnetize that fear into your reality because you're scared of it. There's
Yeah.
so much emotion, so much energy in that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
So I believe like
I
that's
think
kind
it's
of plays a
interesting.
part.
Interesting because in the two ways that you guys are thinking about it, Ernst is saying if you're just aware of it and just leave it at that, then you won't be manifesting that kind of energy, using it for that ill will. But in Tori's case, if you're fixating on it, then you're manifesting it because you're fixating. And you're just amplifying that feeling because you're drawing it in, thinking about it, right? So then if you're thinking about it like that, it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Yup.
It's,
Yeah. It's
because I agree.
that's a big lesson.
Thinking,
Like what are we thinking about? What are we focusing our mind's energy, our body, our divine energy, our creative energy on? Are we thinking
mm,
about disaster all the time, or are we thinking about like creation and healing and
mm.
whatnot? So
I've
Now,
actually seen
what
this
is
today via, sorry,
go for it?
Colt, you
Let's
go
go
on.
for it.
I have to look something
Um,
up.
what I was gonna say was, I think of that kind of as yin and yang still. Like you're thinking about the bad, like being aware of it, and then the good and trying to harness it both. Like being aware and like hoping for that goodness. Like I want it, but being aware of that bad and like knowing what to expect from the bad, and then using those that fear feeling like, okay, well, I know I'm afraid of it, so I'm gonna harness that power and then use it for fuel to prove myself wrong, so I'm not afraid.
yeah. So that kind of reminds me of I watch this survival show called Dual Survival quite a lot, and one of the main guys says that like mind, like mentality, mindset is like 90% of survival. And if you're focusing on everything that could go wrong, or like it's like Colt said, it's good to be aware, but we must keep like our mindset at least above the middle point. You can be positive, you can be real, neutral, but to dip below into the negative, that's where death occurs. You know?
I think Ernst and me talked about it kind of earlier. I don't know if it was on the triangle page, but it was being consciously conscious of your thoughts. Like being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking inside your head, like each one, not just like, all right, well, that was negative, but like, why was it negative? And what was the reason because it was negative? Like just that deeper level of each time.
Yeah,
So,
like
you finally reach
basically
the bottom,
reflecting.
like, all right. There we go.
I for sure. I'd like to distill that into like, because that sounds like that could be potentially just a thought trap where you just keep thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. So like, really, what's important is, yeah, spiral. So like, what's important is how does this thought make me feel, right? So it's simple. Feelings are what guides us, and they don't lie. If we have a thought and we feel bad, that's not a beneficial thought. I mean, if we think a thought and we feel fear, that doesn't mean it's a bad thought. It just means it's triggering a certain response. So in that case, a little bit of extra thought and thinking through it would actually be good.
Yeah, trying to figure out where it's coming from and why it's, creating that sort of emotion or that sort of response.
Yeah, using the mind as the processor that it is. So, yeah.
I was gonna say, I seen this video today by of Tony Robbins, and he was saying, there's this famous example where, like, if you're speaking to somebody and you ask them to just like look around and find like things that are of certain color or something, say like, look around your room and find things that are red, and then after they do that, you ask them like, okay, how many things of yellow color have you seen? And you usually don't pay attention to that other color because you're just focused on looking for that one thing, and whatever you look for you find more of. And the interesting part about it is that it's scientifically proven that that's true. So whatever you're actually looking for, you find. So like you can think that you magnetize it into your life in a sense, but it's not magnetizing. It's just like you look for it and like you observe more of it, and that just relates to being positive and negative in a sense. So like if you are, like, going back to our topic at the start, if you are always focused on the positive, then you kind of are finding more of that positive in your life to what's the word, I forgot the word in English, to back it up, basically back up that you're correct in a sense. So yeah.
I feel like I know what you're trying to say, but now that I try to grab it, I just missed the grab. Now I'm trying to think of what you were trying to say.
Yeah, well, I know from like when I went out mushroom hunting once, the guy's like, all right, get low and just look for them. So I get down low and I just turn my vision into like mushroom only. And what do? I see one, dude, just sitting there. So yeah.
That's the perfect example. But like my example, it was more of a, say if you're trying to if you're focused on Lamborghinis now, yeah, like it's also a proven experiment. Like somebody told you to like focus on looking for Ferraris or Lamborghinis, and like now you know how it looks. You've seen a picture, took your phone, you've seen a picture, okay, that's how it looks, and then out of nowhere, just magically, in your life, you actually start to find them.
Yeah.
Like they just look there. There's, whoa, that's a Lamborghini. Never seen them before in my city. Now there's a red Ferrari, and there's a, I'm not sure what it's called in English, like reticular something system. That's what it's called, and that's actual part in your brain, in your mind, that makes you see them things that you're looking for. And why that is interesting is, Tori, you replied to my thread today about manifestation or whatever, and I actually had no clue what you meant. because I was curious whether you're replying to me or to the girl that I reposted. Give me a second. Yeah, so it was about, oh yeah, she said the universe don't want to give you what you want, it will only give you what you're an energetic embodiment of. So it's basically like tuning your vibration to a certain frequency, and then whatever is the same vibration or frequency as that frequency that you tuned yourself in, that is what you're going to get. Instead of just
So take what I guess I didn't see all of what she wrote, so I agree with that. So take what I said and you can just throw it out the window, because I agree. Although
what I said to that is that's all true, but you become what you spectate. So I meant like you will kind of still get what you desire, because if there's the object, yeah, so I spectate it with all my attention and all my presence. Now I take the vibration of that object, like I mirror it. You know, like if me and you talk right now, especially in person, we will eventually mirror each other, you know, and we'll get on that same resonated vibrational frequency. So eventually, if I spectate it, I will become it. So I said, if I desire it, I will have it. That's me finished.
I agree.
Yeah.
Get closer to the mic.
Yeah, but I'll say, I manifest things that I want and desire without actually sitting down and putting in practice to do this. I mean, I don't suggest that this will work for everyone, but you know, I do put the thought out there. I have this like idea, oh, I want a copper cup. And then what do you know, a month or so later, you know, I get a copper colored cup, and then I go to someone's house and they have copper cups. I didn't put a lot of energy, but I suppose clearly put out that thought, that energy. It up, yeah. And then it comes.
The energy, and your willpower was so strong that you just willed it without even being subconscious about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
It was just so natural that it just overtook, and you didn't even have to think about it so much. You just chucked it out there, and it just happened.
Yeah.
I wonder what determines though, like how quickly you will manifest it. So like the amount of energy that you have, or how clearly you seen it, or how unattached you were, or like, you know, like why certain people can manifest it so easily and certain people can't.
I want to say there's factors to it, like the time, the place, of course, like where you're at in the universe, maybe. If you're ready for it to manifest it, like if you just wake up one day and like, I'm just going to start manifesting $1 million, like it doesn't just happen the next day, right? You got to work at it. It's natural and slow, like trees.
Yeah. And I feel like, you know, just like a tree, like if a tree starts growing in a way that's not beneficial to it, you know, it tips over, it becomes nothing, right? So I think that what dictates speed of manifestation is, are we working towards it or against it?
Are we also feeding it the proper nutrients it needs? And is it starting from the roots, the foundation, or are you just waiting to branch up into the stars?
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying, Tori, is that do we back up our manifestation with physical actions?
Yes.
And like, are we constantly doing correct physical actions that we know are correct? Because I believe everybody usually knows what they should do. And, you know, instead of going against it. Like, you know, say if I want $1 million, and then I know that to make $1 million, I need to start doing some sort of work, say like create a business, do that, save money, not don't spend. But then you're like, okay, let me go out with my friends instead of working and spend a lot of money on some stupid stuff that I don't need. So that's, you know, like instead of going with it, you're going against it.
Yeah,
Well, or
yeah,
any other example.
yeah. And like for me, I feel that I will have very good amount of money someday. But in order for me to get that, I need to first learn how to wisely spend and utilize what I do have today. Um, like people's like if you've ever seen someone who wins the lottery, they get millions and they blow it in a year and then they're broke again.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
to truly be wealthy, we need to be able like I got this message years ago that I about myself, and it's essentially I need to learn how to wield my power, for good, so I can do a lot of
With great
damage.
power comes great responsibility.
Yeah,
Oh
Spider
man,
Man.
Spider-Man says it clearly.
That's Spider Man.
man, I actually love this. Like that learning how to use the stuff that you have. I actually love that, and Colt would love that. Have you watched Bleach?
No, I've seen it, I
Fuck.
know of it, but I haven't actually like sat through it all.
Yeah, so can I spoil it a bit? It's not
Yeah,
really a
yes, please.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so main hero, Ichigo, inside of him, he
Ichigo.
has two different things. So one is this old guy who's supposedly his sword, and the other guy he's called White. So he's like his anti-hero. So the if Ichigo is wearing full black, the
The
White
dark
is
side
obviously
to him.
full
The
white,
negative
right?
side, sorry.
Yeah,
The
the
negative
negative
side.
side. Negative side. So polarity, opposite.
Yep.
And eventually, in the inner world, the soul of Ichigo, who's the main character, uh, they fight. They battle, but they're uh, the exact same thing. Although yes, they're opposite, but they're still, they still have the same powers and same abilities. All of that, the same sword, and
Thank you.
nothing changes. But the way that his how do you call him, the anti-hero?
Protagonist? No, antagonist,
Antagonist.
sorry.
Well, he's not really an antagonist. He's just a mirror.
Anti-antagonist?
He's a mirror in a sense.
Mm.
Right.
He's
A polar opposite mirror.
yeah, mirrored polar opposite. So he knows how to use all of them powers that Ichigo also has, and he dominates. He destroys Ichigo simply because he knows how to use all of the things that he has. You know,
Say it! Why won't you tell me what happened to Zangetsu?
I told you I'm Zangetsu!
Bun Kai! Bastard! Now tell me where in the hell did you learn to use Bankai like this?
Isn't it obvious? I learned at the same time you did! Why are you getting so upset? We should have some fun.
Shut the hell up.
Concentrate now. Don't lose your focus.
Zet! Getsuga Tensho! He blocked it with one hand.
Getsuga Tensho. You might as well give up. You're not good enough. Ichigo! What's the difference between a king and his horse?
What the hell are you saying?
There's only one answer. Instinct! In order for identical beings to get stronger and gain power, they need to develop a killer instinct. In fact, it forms the very essence of our being. Deep within our body lies the honed instinct to dominate and slaughter our enemy. My friend, you don't have that. And the simple matter is it doesn't work. You're weak. Ichigo! I don't know about Zangetsu, but I refuse to play horse to a king who's weaker than you. Someone whose uncertainty and hesitation will end up getting us both cut to pieces.
And that's so interesting in regards to us humans, because every one of us, if you've ever heard about this, like everybody has, like in poker, everybody has a hand that they were dealt, like the cards in their hand. And you just gotta play that hand and know how to play that hand. And you can win with like the worst cards. There's a chance you
Right.
can win if you
Yeah.
know what to do, if you know how to play against other people with what you got. So it's just fascinating. Like everybody has some sort of a superpower or some sort of
I feel
something.
like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I
because
feel like
I
I
think
can alliterate that. Go for it, Charlie. Go first.
because it makes you wonder, like, I know how to play poker, yet I don't win very often. So what is it about these people who frequently show up into these like massive tournaments as like finalists? They have some type of ability that they can rely on that is proven to win.
Mm. What I could say to add to that is it's learning how to manipulate your insides, like how you feel inside before you express it outwards, like a poker face. And then there's also learning to manipulate the rule, like logical warfare against your enemies, like saying things to provoke them, to get them aggressive and start acting out of aggression to the point where they can't think straight because they're so upset and angry that they don't know what to do anymore, and they're just wasting their energy.
Yeah,
It's all about how you use it and come around that thinking inside the box versus outside the box.
Yeah, for sure.
I also heard that it's like in poker, although I have actually never played poker, never once in my entire life. But I've seen this in a movie before that poker is about playing the person against you.
Yeah.
It's not playing the cards, playing the person and playing on their weaknesses or their strengths, but like knowing, kind of seeing what is it, how they behave, how they
Yeah.
might think, and like playing against that.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I'm just gonna take off my jumper, but you'll continue talking.
I too have never played poker myself, but just based off all the shows that like all the poker tournaments, I don't see people like really sitting there and having fun. Like I don't see them like looking around and having conversations and smiling. They're kind of all just like,
yeah, it's competition. It's work. Highly focused activity.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So, dude, I played poker. I played with some guys, and like I know how to play basic poker, but every hand that they would play, they would change it to some different type of poker. And they were doing this, I believe, to catch me off guard, so I had no idea what was going on, and I would just lose because of that. So yeah, poker's I don't know. I don't enjoy it that much.
Do you like any other like games or like chess?
I wish I played it more. I wish I have a desire to understand, defenses and attacks, but I have not looked into it much.
That reminds me actually, because I personally play like Pokemon TCG and Yu-Gi-Oh TCG, with a strategy type of card games versus battling your opponent, and you're learning aside from the rules and stuff, but all the different little things you can use for strategies to take out your opponent or be able to win the game. Really, it really challenges your mind because everything is not the same. Everyone has their own version and alliteration of what they want to use and what works best for them. So to add to that game, gaming and stuff.
I used to play. If you've ever heard of Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, no.
Yeah, so it's just a card game. So it's from Blizzard.
Okay.
So it has all of the characters from World of Warcraft and stuff like that. So I used to play it like 5 or 6 years ago. It's actually the first thing that I've ever streamed. First time in my life, I actually made a Twitch account. I started streaming it, which is cool experience. But yeah, so it's just like you create a deck. There's 30 cards in the deck, and then you play that deck. And besides creating a deck, there's 9 different heroes that each have like small, like it's based on mana as any card game. So every turn you get +1 mana crystal until you have 10 crystals. Start from 1 until you have
Okay.
10. And then for 2 mana points, each hero, that's why the mana points are important. Each hero has a different ability. So like they're somewhat different, yet it doesn't really matter what you play. Like it's plus or minus the same. It's still based on cards. But each hero has different cards that they can use, and then all the other cards that everyone can use. But yeah, it's somewhat interesting.
I agree. I like that. It's called Hearthstone.
Yeah, Hearthstone, like not the heart, but hearth, like the fireplace thing.
Hearth. Okay, Roger. Maybe I have heard of it then actually before. Like I've probably seen it in a game store, but I've never actually played it myself.
Yeah, it's quite cool, but it's very. I'm pretty sure if you would start now, it's just there's too much that you either have to buy or too much time that you have to spend on it because there's all these like you gotta go through these challenges, just endless stuff to get more cards, and like if everybody already has the cards, it's just a nightmare.
Oh, okay, I see.
And Colt, do you play chess or have you?
I have played chess before. I want to get into it more now, but I just haven't really found the time to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I do want to create that because I love chess personally. I used to play a lot with my friends, but I never got like properly good at it. But I do want to create that as uh, a habit to just play like one game a day or something like that, just to work out my brains. So it is
Yeah.
good.
I like, I like that actually. I might try and implement that into my life, kind of like as a way to sign off for the night, relax, just play a little bit of chess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that idea too. I mean, Ernst,
Thanks,
I would
man.
say, is a little advanced. I mean, you're not a total noob to it.
Yeah, I can
You've
actually
played.
play with both of you, like, you know.
Yeah, that'd be good. So like Colton and I could be like total beginners. Like, we don't know techniques and strategies. I know how the pieces work. That's about it.
Yes,
And
yeah, same.
yeah, so and then we could play Ernst and have someone who has a bit more strategy, and we could try to go against that. But dude, I don't even know what piece to start with. Like from the start,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
look, mostly like you only have two options in chess that you can start with. You can either start with a pawn or you can
Right,
start
right.
with a knight, a
Okay,
horse.
but which pawn?
Okay, yeah.
Which
That's
pawn?
It's just
literally
all up to your
that's
strategy.
whatever you want. But see, you should always like there's two things that you should think of when you start in chess. First of all, whoever dominates the center usually has better position. So if you
Okay.
take control of the center, like think about it as an army. Yeah, like there's a field. You go into a field. You want to be in the center because then from the center, you're looking out to the side, looking there, you're looking forward. You can see everything, right? Everything's open. So you want to be there in the center to control everything around you. That's the first thing. Second thing,
Cool.
besides controlling the center, usually you want to open up the path for strong pieces. So say if I go with the two pawns in the middle, one of them that I move, my king will be able to be under attack, which is not good technically, because now I just opened up for them to be able to attack my king. Why do I want that to happen? The other one, but you still can. It's not bad necessarily. The other one is for your queen to be able to go. So you want your big pieces, strong pieces to be able to have as much pressure as possible.
Yeah.
Think of it as a gun that you have, and you're like, you don't need to shoot it, but it's there. It's there, and you know that it's there. Like just the fact that you know that it's there, you're like, fuck, I'm nervous. He has a gun, and it's like he can fire it.
Yeah, dude. Like most robberies are just a guy showing you a knife. and saying, "Give me what you have," and that's all it takes.
Yeah, he might not even have balls to actually
Exactly.
cut you.
Yeah.
Just see it in his hand. Is it shaking just as much as your knees are?
And then what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna try to jar it out of his hand?
Run the other way.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go, and then I'm gonna turn around and
Use
run
the power of
other way.
Aikido there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about somebody like trying to use telepathy, like in that moment, bro. Just like, I'm gonna make this
You
go
will
out
give
of
me
his
your money.
hand.
You will give me your money.
Yeah.
You will give me all your money.
Dude, robbing somebody with telepathy. That.
Hold on, stop. Huh?
Yeah,
What's happening?
yeah.
You will give me all your money.
Yeah.
You will stop and give me all your money.
Yeah, dude. Let's,
Imagine,
You feel my intentions yet?
imagine you're there, you go up to someone, and instead of having a knife and like saying, like showing them the knife, you try to draw some sort of symbol in the air, and you're like, "I'm going to damage you with the power of my fire jutsu," and you're like,
manifesting this.
yeah, dude, you've got a magic wand. You've got a piece of wood in your hand.
I was doing that in my dream a few days ago.
Nice.
Wait. Hold on. Harry Potter. Come to die.
Expelliarmus.
That was my interpretation of Voldemort.
One line that was actually quite good. Like the last part, that was actually quite good because it sounded like him.
I tried my best
Call
without
the
laughing.
You should apply for a voice actor for a new
I would
Voldemort
like
movie.
to do that.
Cole is, I don't know about you, Ernst, but Cole is stuck in this position.
No, I can
Am
see him
I?
normally. He's
I
like,
don't
he's
see
like
a
this.
movie.
He's like this now.
Yeah, no, he's stuck
You
in
guys are
this
moving
like
for me.
he's stuck in this like
Is he still?
intense face. Like, yeah, I got it. I feel better.
What is that? Whoa.
It's Shungite.
Yeah.
Shungite.
Shungite.
Do you feel it like a lot? Like, does it create a feeling straight away?
Yeah, it just eases my like any stress I'm feeling. It feels like putting on a very comfortable sweater. It just is cozy to me.
That is very cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get the. I definitely sent you the iTaurus thing.
Yeah.
Did I? Yeah, I
that's-
can't.
that's-
Well, like, I'm curious, man. I'm just so curious.
Yeah, that thing is very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
And it's so cool to me to even like I can't really fully fathom it yet that there's literally a torus, like a donut shaped device that changes the flow of vibrational energy. Like that just sounds like magic to me. Like think about it. It creates a vortex in real life of energy. And like you can see it by putting a magnet into the center. That's very cool, by the way.
So
what
this
the
is
heck?
this is Organite, and what it does is it's kind of like a Taurus, and it's like an energy management tool. And so what it is like some kind of crushed up stone or crystal with like some kind of metal, in this case copper, and it's in an epoxy. And then the pressure of the epoxy creates like piezoelectric
Effect.
effects.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of like it's like a baby Taurus. You know, this thing probably costs $50 American. But it will do. It will, it's like, okay, yeah, you want a Ferrari, but you got to get to work, so a Toyota will do.
That's true. You gotta drive. Yeah.
So that's what this is. This is like a Toyota.
And how does that feel in comparison to Shungite? Like, is there a difference, or?
I would say that the Organite more is just keeping you from feeling negative from the environment, whereas the shungite directly, yeah, and the shungite directly like injects me with its benefits, whereas the organite is protecting me from harmful.
My obsidian
Yeah, obsidian.
charm.
I have this.
What you got? Whoa. Whoa.
Actually,
That's cool.
I actually have no clue what the stone itself is, but this is made by my friend, and she infused it with, like, it's not really, I don't know if you've heard of Reiki. It's
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
Reiki, it's a variation. So she
Yeah.
like connects with some cosmic stuff, and it's like,
Yeah.
she projects that energy
cool.
onto the crystal, which is very cool. Like, it works really, really nice.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, I feel like we can all do that ourselves.
I wanted to say that, like, I wanted
Yeah.
to get into that stuff for a very long time, and I have
Sure.
one guy on Instagram who does that, and I have one guy who's like best friends with him. But like, I don't know how to, like, I would love to actually, I pay for somebody to teach me how to do all that stuff, you know.
Sure, if you got the money, do it by all means. If you don't have the money, intuit by all means.
So
Just
when you
use-
say intuit,
I'd say just YouTube it.
You
YouTube.
you can YouTube for guidance, bro, or just use your own intuition. Like, you know,
feeling.
like Tesla says, what 369 is like the magic numbers of the universe. So just take your stone, you know, let's say go in a positive spiral to the right clockwise, and just go 1, 2, 3. And while you're doing that, just be imagining divine energies coming through you and is going into the stone. That's
with no doubt.
With no, yeah.
Look, I 100% believe that works. And I was doing something like that. Like, I'll give you an example. The certain clothes that I got, I actually enchanted them clothes with. So if you've ever played video games, MMORPGs, every character has, say, intuition or power or strength or
D&D
whatever they have.
stats.
The
stat chart.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought that word slipped out of my mind. So because I really believe that we're playing a game. Like, I 100% believe that we're playing a game, exactly like MMORPG. So I imagine, and I believe it, and I believe that whatever you believe, it works. So I imagined that I infused these clothes that I have with certain parameters or stats. So, for example, plus 20 intellect. And I had this blue, because for me blue was like blue, water, intellect. It's somewhat aligned, so I still made it align. So I had this blue jumper, and I infused it with 20 intellect, and I was like, whenever I put that on, I become smarter. And guess what? I became smarter every time I put that on. But the problem is, if I would do that as a business for other people, I need some sort, for myself, like for my sanity, I need some sort of way to, like, prove, or some sort of a system to know that actually works. I can't just like be like, yo, this is a magic pen, pay me 20 euro for a magic pen.
Wow.
I'd be like, cool, that's your money. But I wouldn't be satisfied.
I can challenge that.
Go on.
I can challenge that. How do you prove that God is real then?
But you're not trying to sell God, are you?
Let's not go down a gigantic
your religion.
rabbit hole.
Just that idea, kind of.
We can speak on this later.
You don't have that physical proof. You don't have that physical proof to show somebody aside from your own word. That's what I mean.
So Ernst, it is it's vibes, right? Can the person sense truth in you when you say this does magical things?
Okay, your good intentions through
it all
your product.
Depends on whether they believe me or not. But then, have you experienced the moment? I'm actually just playing against myself right now, but it doesn't matter. It's cool. So, have you experienced when you believed something, but it wasn't true? Like you believe that 2 plus 3 is 5.
Sure.
Is 6, but it wasn't actually 6. It was 5. But you believed it, you know.
Yeah.
So how do you
Yeah.
like? Now, what if they believe that it's true, but it's not? How do you
I
like?
think, bro, it's you know the placebo effect.
Right.
So people get a pill that is made of sugar, but they say this is going to make your depression go away, and they take this one sugar pill a day, and suddenly their depression is gone. But in fact, it's their belief of my depression is going away. My depression is going away because I did something. So you could give somebody a pen that you just pulled out of a package, and you could say, this is going to make you a better poet. You give that pen to them without putting any intention into it, and they suddenly are a better poet. So.
Yeah. But
The,
again,
the
that
idea
only
and
works.
theory of fake it till you make it. Sorry, fake it till you make it. In your own belief system of yourself, not towards other people.
So I gave an example of dirty business, taking a pen out of a package, saying it's magic. But Ernst, if you take a pen and you thoroughly do your prayers and your I don't want to say spells, but you do your magic. Enchantments.
Your enchantment.
Yeah, I like the word enchantment the most.
Yes, me too. So if you do your enchantments and you thoroughly believe that it is going to have this magical quality to it, and then you can now promote this in a way where you say, I have put universal energy magic, into this product. It will help you write better poetry. It will help you to channel divine inspiration more easily. And if you know this, dude, I experience this on threads all the time. Depending on what my vibe is when I write something, that's how a person responds. I could say the same thing 3 different ways with 3 different vibes, and I will get 3 different responses.
100%. I also experienced that 100%.
Yep.
Because also when I read something, I usually feel what kind of energy the person had when they wrote it. Or say if my friend sends me a message, I usually feel what they're if they're agitated, if they're feeling good, if they're feeling positive, if they're going against me. I usually can feel it.
Ooh,
that's true.
That reminds me. Sorry to cut you off, but to circle back towards what you said, what you think versus what you think is true versus what isn't true. That applies to what's going on in my head. Because when I read a text or someone's post, and they don't have emojis or grammar with it backing it up for how they express themselves, then I just automatically read it in a monotone. I'm reading it reading it like this. So I just automatically take it as that's kind of hostile. Damn. Unless they have emojis laughing or thumbs up kind of thing, I just why would you say it like that?
Yeah, okay, I think you actually took something I said earlier. Because I don't know, sometimes I am high energy. Sometimes I am very sad and angry. Sometimes I'm just in the middle. Sometimes I'm just in the middle. Just being, bro. Yeah, so my words, I'm just putting it out there. I'm not going to fake a smiley. I'm not going to fake excitement. I just, yesterday and this morning, I felt highly neutral. And yeah, there's no love. I mean, well, there's love, but there's no hate. It's just kind of, it is.
It's just there. You're just there.
Because sometimes you're very high vibrational. Sometimes you're just I'm here. I exist. No hate, but I exist.
Yep. Excellent, guys. I have to. I'm going to call my portion of this complete. So all hail Shungites.
I'd say we made good progress.
We definitely
made some good progress.
100%.
Yeah. So 100%. This is cool.
And it's perfect time to wrap up because I was literally just thinking that I got college tomorrow and I gotta go sleep soon, all that.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's late, bro.
It's 10:30.
All right, it's good seeing y'all faces and chatting it up.
It was
nice. Have a good night. Tori,
You
have
too.
a good rest of the day.
You too. Have a
Stay
productive
blessed,
day in
y'all.
front of you.
Oh, I mean,
I want to challenge you guys quickly.
Go on.
Today is Sunday, right? Sunday
Yes.
is almost the end of the day for Ernst.
Yeah.
I want to challenge you guys to at least try to play chess 3 times this upcoming week.
okay.
At least
Okay.
3 times.
Yeah, great.
That's a good challenge. That's
Oh, I-
very
I
doable.
I will take.
I will play once a day.
I like
So,
that.
yeah, I will play once a day.
Do you use? Well, we'll talk about it after.
Yeah, send me a DM. You got me.
Yeah.
The group chat there.
All right, guys.
All right, y'all.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll sign off.